In this episode, we are returning to the written tutorial, and of course the first thing we must do is a piece of research. So for remote stand service, we obviously have to select the remote stand service research project, get that started, assign administrators to it, and once that's done, we'll be able to actually begin building the necessary features to make remote stands work. But while we're waiting for the research to get done, there are a few things we can take care of. So I've already built the stands themselves. They are no different to normal. I have purchased some of the vehicles, but they haven't been assigned here yet, so I'll be taking care of that. And I will be filling up this space with seating for the passengers and all of the necessary boarding gates to make these stands work. You can, of course, use any of the normal boarding gates you would use, the small, medium, or the automated ones if we had those, which we don't at the moment. We'll be covering exactly how to connect them all up once the research is done, but for the meantime, I'm just going to get this space filled up and make it nice and pretty. The research has completed now, and I've gone through and put pushback trucks, stair cars, baggage trucks, and belt loaders for each of my remote stands, so that they're definitely going to be catered for by all of the necessary vehicles. There should be plenty of fuel trucks floating around as well. You can see I've built plenty of seating and I've got quite a few boarding gates here, but at the moment there's no pass through this wall. I've got a little road here which I might need to extend, and I started building a new cafe, but that's not important to today's episode. What I need to do now is put in the airside shuttle bus stops and service car stops. I'll do the service car stops first. These are for your ramp agents to be able to reach the remote stands, because there's no way for a ramp agent to walk from here. Well, in this case, yes, that one could potentially walk across, but to this one, and this one, there's no way for ramp agents to walk from the terminal building over to that stand. So we need to have service car stops for our ramp agents, and they get placed very much like any other vehicle stand. So if you've placed your depots or your passenger bus stops, etc., you know how you're working with those. I've got a door here through for my ramp agents to be able to quickly and easily get to those service cars. You don't have to purchase, actually yes you do, have to purchase cars, so we'll be having to purchase some service cars as well. Let's get them ordered. And we're also going to need airside shuttle buses. Now, I've got 5 remote stands. It's generally best to just have one per stand, because if you end up with 2 flights at the same time, obviously they can't share the same bus. Now, those are in the same place. If we go into aircraft infrastructure, we can select our bus stops, and they're quite a bit larger, as you can see. Now, I'm actually going to space them out, which is going to look a little bit strange, and it might not fit. No, it won't. Okay, never mind. So, I was hoping to space them out just to minimize potential traffic problems, but it's not going to be that big a deal. And I have made this little route one way. That may or may not cause problems, we'll just have to wait and see. So I'll come back to you once that's built. Okay, those are all constructed now. Let's assign our buses to their stands. So we'll pick this one, same process as we've done before. It can go to there, this one can go here, and so on. And I'll just demonstrate, you can't actually assign them to one of these bus stops. They have to be assigned to a plane stand or to a depot. I prefer to assign them to the stand so that they're ready and waiting as soon as a plane arrives. Now we will of course need doors through here. But what you'll quickly learn when you're doing this is that passengers will take the nearest door regardless of where they're actually trying to get to. So as much as I might be lining these up to make them look nice, you'll probably find that this door down here gets the most use, and they probably won't actually go quite where you might expect people to go. There's not much I can do about that, and perhaps I could have spread these out further, it would have made more sense, but I had to work with the room that I had. While we're waiting for the doors to be constructed, it's time to start assigning our boarding gates to something. So we need to connect to an airside shuttle bus stop this time instead of to a stand. So we'll select that one, assign it to this stand, and so on. And remember that you can hold down Shift to select multiple desks at a time. Always listen for the little beeping sound. That will be very crucial to knowing whether it's succeeded or not. Now you can see the bus stands and the service car stops themselves don't have any options really. They only let me choose which side the vehicle drives in from. With the shuttle bus stop assigned, we also need to assign the stand. So I want to have these ones at the top be assigned to the furthest away stand. Likewise with these two, they're going to be the next furthest away. But service cars are sort of done in reverse. So when we go to our aircraft stands, we can assign a service car stop. And beware, you can have multiple stands connected to the same stop. Sometimes that's beneficial, sometimes it'll cause you more problems than it solves. You really just have to play it by ear as to what's going to work for your airport. As you can see, I've only got 3 service car stops, but I've got 5 stands, so I am having to double some of these up. The other thing you need to remember, just like setting up any stand that's connected to your terminal building, you must have your baggage bay set up correctly. So I've already connected my stands to my baggage bay and my baggage bay to my baggage claim, which I'm going to switch on now. And of course the boarding desks also need to be assigned to relevant baggage bays. All of the orange check-in desks here are assigned to this baggage bay, and all of the yellow ones to the far right are assigned to my baggage bay at the top for the remote stands. You can see that there's a problem right now. They're not connected. If I follow this line of baggage, it comes along here and goes straight up to the lower of the 2 baggage bays and never actually goes any further. This is where we need tilt trays. Because I've got 1 conveyor belt passing through baggage security and it's all connected to this 1 baggage bay right now, I need a way of segregating the traffic so that some bags can go here and some bags can go all the way up here. that's where tilt trays come in, so let's get that built. I have already done the research for that. If I look at completed projects, tilt trays are there, so it's only a 12-hour research. It's not particularly long. I believe I did that when I was discussing the first part about building baggage bays. Now the best place for me to put my tilt tray is here just after baggage security, so that it can get straight onto this high-speed conveyor belt and be taken all the way to the top. Now of course, therein lies the problem. We're going to have to delete this bit, wait for bags to get stuck there, and hopefully not have too many bags held up while I'm waiting for the contractors to do their job. I will go ahead and put in the extra tile of high-speed conveyor belt here, but until that's deleted I can't put the tilt tray in. And tilt trays do have a direction. Just think about the main source is heading in the direction of the arrows, so that's where I want it to go to continue that green line, and it will, when it sees a bag with the appropriate tag, it will flip that bag onto this line instead. Okay, the contractor has just removed that square, so I can put the new one in, and we'll see all of these bags getting stuck until that's built. So once again, this is a case where building all of your baggage in one hit is beneficial, because these bags being stuck is going to hold up some flights. Hopefully it's not going to hold up more than 1 or 2 flights. There we go, the tilt tray is built. Now there won't be anything getting flipped onto that belt yet, because of course I haven't got any passengers coming in through those desks. But let's just double check. Right, the red warning flags have gone away. These desks are now connected correctly. And I'm going to do something here to make life a little simpler for myself. Unfortunately, you can't color code your baggage bays as an object, but you can color code by painting the floor, because this is still a terminal building. So if I pick flooring that's sort of orange, I can fill this in here to say this is my orange baggage bay, and I could pick a more yellow color and fill in this one, much the same, so that it's reasonably obvious which baggage bay is connected to which set of check-in desks and so on. Obviously, from a point of view of beauty, that's not the best solution, but I do find it much easier to keep track of things that way. Likewise, for this one, I could make this a blue area to go with the blue check-in desks and blue carpet and so on that I've been using for the rest of this area. So let's just put it there. And the tutorial is ready to say we need to schedule a flight, but of course we can't do that until at least one of these is switched on. So I'll open this one, go to my flight register, and scroll around until I find it. And it's down the bottom here underneath the help, so let's just push that aside. It's already set to auto planner active. I'm going to switch that off for a moment, and I'm going to pick a flight to put on there. Now we can see immediately, if I compare this flight with this one, or if I place another one just to really make it easy, you can see it's a longer time. Remote stands are deliberately held for a longer period in your airport so that the passengers have time to reach the plane on their bus. I'm not going to bother scheduling that one. Let's get rid of that for the moment. I just want the one to test the system before I let the auto planner book all of the flights for these stands. Okay, we can see our check-in desks are in action, and you'll note that there's 2 of these active at the same time, both for the same flight, AS37. A thing to be mindful of is a check-in desk is only really rated to handle 75 passengers, and this flight has 141 passengers. So it's worth remembering that you actually want more desks than you have stands of a medium size. And more so when you get to the large planes, you need to have a lot of check-in desks to handle the sheer volume of passengers coming through. Our plane has arrived. And something has gone wrong. What has gone wrong? Okay, I did have a stair truck for this stand. I don't know where it's gone. Let's find it. Where are you? Okay, this is a problem I've had with my airport. There's something causing trucks to go straight past all of the entrances to my airport and not actually go where I need them to go. I don't know what's causing that. I'm just going to sell this one, and I'm going to sell the baggage cart that's got the same problem, and just buy some new ones. I'm sure there's a reason, I just don't know what that reason is. At one stage I rebuilt this service gate and that seemed to fix the problem, but obviously the problem has returned. So if I do find a genuine solution, I'll make sure that's a recording for you as well, so that you can troubleshoot your own airport. Right now, I'm just going to pick this vehicle instead and reassign it to that stand. And you can see now why I only wanted to have one flight, rather than letting all 5 of these stands kick off at the same time and have lots of issues with finding that I'd missed a vehicle. I've gone through and I'm pretty sure I've set all of the necessary vehicles for these stands, but it wouldn't be the first time that I've missed one. So, alright, our passengers got off, the bus has off-boarded them, they've already left through our airport, and we've got our passengers waiting to board. So you can see the bus has actually used this stand, dropped some people off, and has already gone back to the aircraft stand. If your aircraft stands are a long way from your terminal building, you'll find that the bus drops people off, starts to leave, and then immediately gets the job assigned to pick up new passengers. So you'll see them do this weird little loop. There's nothing you can do about that. But the important thing is it got in and followed the one-way system properly. That's what I was actually concerned about, because I have had them getting stuck before trying to come out the wrong way through a one-way system. So soon enough we should be ready to board. And I'm a bit concerned that my passenger service agents haven't turned up yet. Here they come. Nope. Okay, so this should have started boarding at 15:30. We're up to 16:15. And we've got no sign of passenger service agents. That tells me I've probably not got enough passenger service agents, despite what the numbers in this panel are telling me. So there's a combination of problems here. One, there's a long way for them to walk, and two, there's not such an oversupply of them that they can be here and here at the same time. So it's worth me hiring some more. And remember that with multiple terminals, you must assign those to the terminal you want them on, otherwise they are going to end up in the wrong place and not actually solve your problem. I just picked the wrong one, so let's do that again. There we go. So that may alleviate the problem with my service agents not turning up on time. This flight is very clearly going to be delayed. The flight was intended to leave at 15:30. That's the actual takeoff time, not the boarding time. So it's running quite late now. And if I were to go to flight monitor, you can see it has turned red. We've got all sorts of problems. So passengers haven't boarded. Service route hasn't happened for some reason. Why is that? Service cars can't be assigned to a aircraft stand. They can't be assigned to a service car stop. They can only be assigned to depots. So there shouldn't be an issue with this one. Don't know why they're all here. Okay, it looks like assigning it to the depot may have resolved the problem. I think it was trying to treat itself as being part of Terminal 1 instead of Terminal 2. You might have noticed there it drove into this bus section. I don't want that to happen. So if I remove the one-way marker from one of these little bits of road, I can right-click on it and say, only allow airside shuttle buses. That should prevent it from doing that little loop again. Now, the car has arrived, but it needs ramp agents to get on board, and there aren't any waiting here at the moment. I'm going to adjust this room. I don't want my security officers up there. Really, I just want passenger service agents, ramp agents, and maybe a janitor. And the fact the service round hasn't started yet is probably also contributing to why the passenger service agents haven't bothered turning up yet. They know the plane isn't ready. Another thing you might have wondered about is whether I'd put the terminal marking over these stands or not, and I hadn't, so let's fix that. It is correctly set for the remote the shuttle cars, but not for the buses, so I've corrected that now. And this car keeps leaving with no passengers on board, so we've got problems. One tiny square of secure zone was causing my problem. This door hadn't been marked as secure. Now that it is, I believe my ramp agents will get on board this car. One has. We're waiting for the next one. There should be at least two. But one is better than nothing. So the reason that happened is I built the door before the service car stop was there. So outside wasn't a secure zone at the time, and when I placed this door, there weren't two secure zones side by side to link, so it didn't automatically become secure. The fact that happened just demonstrates that having my remote stand right next to this room isn't working. The crossing here has been removed. But at least now that we've resolved that problem, we can get our plane working again, and we finally got people trying to get on the bus. Unfortunately, this particular plane is over 12 hours late. But that, again, is why I said only book one flight in until you've tested everything and made sure it's working correctly. So I didn't actually intend to demonstrate that by making a deliberate mistake, but fortuitously I have been able to demonstrate some extra troubleshooting. So there we go. That plane is finally leaving, and we'll wait for the next one to make sure it works smoothly this time. Okay, our plane should be arriving any moment. Here we go. Let's watch and see it work properly this time. So, passengers get off the bus. Oh, sorry, get off the plane onto the bus. The baggage has been unloaded successfully. Our ramp agents appear to have arrived, so they're doing the service round. Good. Now we're just waiting for the bags and the passengers. So if I check flight monitor, stand R3, where is R3? There. Alright, I'll pause for a moment just to show you clearly. This is passengers arriving at the airport. They've already arrived, they've already checked in, they've already cleared their way into security, and that's the deboarding passengers. We're just waiting for them to board now. So if we go down to here, we should see them ready to board. And yes, there they are, they're getting straight on the bus. The bus will drive around in a very crazy fashion and eventually park in the right spot. There we have it, 102 boarded. It's 14:27, and this plane is due to leave at 15:30. So we've completed the service round, etc. in good time, and in fact this plane, I believe, is about to leave early. Planes leaving early is obviously much better than planes leaving late. There we have it. It's successful. We can think about opening up our other stands now. I have purchased that extra stair truck and got it assigned here, so that's fixed. I've double checked that my baggage cars are matched up to the number of stands I have, so we should be safe to open these now and start making lots and lots of profit. And I will set that first stand back to automatic as well. So there you go, that's how you set up a remote stand. Remember that your shuttle buses and your service car stops need to be attached to your terminal building with ways for your passengers to get to one and ramp agents to get to the other. And you should be good to go. That's really the main trick. Most people who get stuck with remote stands for some reason think that they need to put these things up near the plane stands. That's not how it works at all. The plane stand has plenty of concrete pad for vehicles to drive around and park on. You don't need to supply any extra. And